Okay, welcome to this week's episode of Luv Subbin, and this week we're going to do something a little bit different.
We're going to talk about some of our travel experiences before we started our YouTube channel.
Right, for 3 years we owned a sailboat and we sailed all over Lake Champlain.
Right, and we had a dock there and we had a lot of fun.
And then we decided to take it down the Hudson Champlain Canal System.
Right, and we wanted to sail along Long Island during the summer.
So we kind of did that,
Yep.
and we'll show you our adventures. Hope you enjoy this little bit of a different twist on Luv Subbin.
Exactly. So our story started here in Charlotte, Vermont at Point Bay Marina.
Perkio was a 36-foot Beneteau Oceanus Center cockpit. She was built in Saint Hilaire, France in 2001.
It looks like we are now a motorboat.
So when we decided to take it down the Lake Champlain Canal, we had to take the mast down.
Yeah, because there's a lot of low bridges and stuff like this, so the first part of sailing down the canal is becoming a motorboat.
Exactly.
I tell you, the guys at Point Bay Marina, as you can see here, they have this down to a science.
They were very professional.
Yeah, they came down, they got rid of the standing rigging, put everything down. As you can see, it's going down into the cradles here. And we will then use this opportunity to replace the rigging or inspect the rigging.
Right.
Check out the mast, make sure everything's set and ready to go. And I think we replaced the radar.
Yeah, we did.
So I think we had a halyard that we had to replace. It was absolutely miserable trying to fish it down
Right.
60 feet of mast. So,
And we had to create the cradles, don't forget,
right.
for the mast to sit on when we traveled down Lake Champlain Canal.
Yeah, as you can see here, the cradles consist of basically 3 support systems, and there's no way to figure this out. You just got to kind of design it yourself.
Right.
In true Luv Subbin fashion, I over-engineered the crap out of the thing, as you can see here.
Yeah, we didn't have a pattern, so we sort of just, and plus it had to be custom fit for the boat as well.
Right, because we didn't want it to end up dumping the mast, which we had a few 50-foot motor yachts wake us quite aggressively. So I'm glad I did make it this strong.
Yeah, did well.
So then after the supports were built, the next step was for Point Bay to come back again and put it on the supports,
Right,
the mast.
lift the mast up
Right.
and check our supports to make sure that they could hold the mast.
Yeah, and this is when I was like, I've never done this before. I hope this kind of
Works.
So that I don't have a mast land on $3,000 worth of brand new canvas.
Exactly, but I think it worked out well.
Yeah, it worked out. So as you can see here. Okay, the next step was for the actual launch to take place. And again, like so many other things, these guys had it down pat.
Right.
You can see here, the way they do this is they take this truck that you see here. It's got a bunch of hydraulic supports, and it backs into where your boat is.
Right, it has a cradle basically that lifts the boat off your, what do you call the supports on the marina?
Yeah, those
the supports.
support thingies.
Support thingies. So basically, it had a cradle that lifted the boat off its supports in the boatyard.
Yep, and then so it drives off, and you can see it driving down here as we're kind of
Following along, waving to our boat.
And then what's funny is as it got back into the water, I thought they were going to have the travel lift come right up. But they actually started bringing it down, 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 and you can't really see it here, but that mast is tilting backwards, and I'm like, oh, I didn't design this thing to go backwards at an angle, and I was just hoping the thing would, again, dump.
Yeah, but you were also there waiting with your paintbrush because we had some spots on the bottom that we weren't able to handle because they were on the supports in the boatyard.
The pads, and you can actually, with this type of paint, you can actually paint it right then and there. So
Right,
you can see me painting that
and it can go right into the water.
It goes right in the water. And then finally, the boat will be sitting in the slings like here, and as soon as it touches water and actually the pressure's released from the slings, the boatyard, they all jump on the boat. As you can see it right here, testing for any leaks.
Right,
making sure there's no hoses disconnected.
Right, they go inside.
Right, so that just in case, and that way if it sinks, it's only going to sink as far as the slings.
Yeah, they can lift it back up again.
And then for the next day or so, we were really paying careful attention to the bilge.
So today we are doing a leisurely cruise down the last part of Lake Champlain. You can see that the lake is super narrowed. We're about 17 feet of water, and it's, like I say, it's really narrow, but it's very idyllic. It's very peaceful, of course, being in this kind of super narrow part of the lake. It's dead calm. And we're just kind of motoring along at 3.5 knots. And we are on our way from our anchorage at Fort Ticonderoga to Whitehall, New York, where we will pass our first lock and tie up hopefully at the South Hall for tonight. But other than that, it's just a nice, easy, peasy day. Right, as you can see, we are moored along a wall at Whitehall, New York. This is a free mooring facility, so it doesn't cost us anything. It's maintained by the city of Whitehall. What's really cool too is they have free electric.
Okay, let's go ahead and stop the video right here and let's talk a little bit about this kind of campground for a boat, which these things were all along the Hudson Champlain Canal. It was super cool. And so you can see here, it comes with usually 30 amp power. And one interesting thing that I found is that no boaters use surge protectors like RV'ers do. I never saw like a surge protector being used, myself included. I didn't. I should have brought it along, as you can see here, and I didn't. So
yeah, we didn't even think of that.
The other thing is, with a boat, you don't have a water connection like you would with a RV.
Right, you're never really on city water. You're always on your water pump.
Right. So you would use, when you have a water hookup like this, it's basically you're filling
your water tank,
your fresh water tank, and then you're always using your pump.
Right.
The final services, of course, is your sewer dumping, and you cannot dump any sewer unless you're 3 miles offshore or more.
Right.
And you don't have the gravity flow that an RV does. So basically, you come along in each of these campgrounds, each of these docks.
Sucks it out.
Yeah, it's like this monster
vacuum
of nastiness that you hook up to this thing, and it sucks all this black water, all the sewage, right out of your tank.
But the difference is our gray water goes straight overboard.
Right.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, I found that to be always interesting. That, and so we did things like use biodegradable soaps and stuff like that.
Right, we tried to be careful.
But yeah, so it's kind of weird that all your gray water just goes right overboard.
Right, but we stored the black, and the black got pumped out.
Yep. And free water. So we were able to fill up our water tanks, although they weren't that full. You can see our passenger inside there. Give a nice wave. Just kind of hanging out. And from there you can see in the distance, the lock we passed through. So this has been a nice stop. They've got showers up along there that we were able to take advantage of, and there's a lot of naval history here, so we'll take a look at some of that stuff too.
This southbound sailing vessel Perkio, over.
All right, we are locking through. Looking good. Bring it to the right just a little bit. Looking good, looking good. Stay here. One of the things as we enter this lock, you'll hear a lot of us communicating back and forth. And it may be irritating to you as you're watching this video, constantly getting the speed and course corrections, but we do the same thing when backing up our RV.
Right. If you ever watch one of our backups, I'll be like straight.
Right.
5 feet, 2 feet, 1 foot, especially when we're hitching up.
Right. And so that's the thing, the communication with whether you're on a boat or you're backing up in an RV, that's why we use the radios. We use radios and not cell phones, because the cell phones, you don't always have service.
Right.
And there's nothing worse than watching an RVer do this or,
or
this
or this.
Right. So we're just calm just like this. And so, yeah, let's watch us pull into the lock. So that we can grab the lines. Doing good.
0.5.
Okay, 0.5, looking good.
How's my course?
Course is good.
0.3.
0.3, good.
Still on 0.3.
Okay, doing good, looking good.
How's my course?
Course is good. Start bringing it to the right just a little bit.
0.2.
Looking good. Bring it to the right some.
How's my course?
Course is good. You can see the lock walls.
We're in neutral, right? Check.
You're in neutral.
Course is looking good. Stay on target. There's the sill. We don't want to hit that. Stay on target. Course is good. Keep bringing her in.
Closer to the wall?
A little bit closer, but not too close because we still got some speed on.
0.2.
Go ahead and bleep reverse. Okay, that's good. Just to slow us a bit. Bring us to the wall a little bit. To the right. Bring us to the right.
We're at 0.
Okay, good. Perfect. I'm going to grab this line right here. Doing good. Okay, Cindy's going to come back and grab a line. I'm going to grab this line. See Cindy pulling us in. Just going to watch this ladder to make sure our fender hits it. There's the doors closing. Have our lines. All right. So once the doors are closed, they'll start emptying the lock. Howdy. Good, yourself?
You guys are going to lock 1, right?
Yes, but not the federal lock. We're going to stop off at Waterford, so. So the lock attendant there will make sure she contacts lock 1. So hopefully they'll, unless they've got commercial traffic they're moving, they will have the lock filled for us and the doors open, hopefully. And those are the paddles probably opening, so we should start falling here soon. Kind of hear that. When we did if you've watched our narrowboat videos, we had to do the paddle opening and door closing and opening all of ourselves. The New York State system here, it's all done obviously with lock keepers. This service is a lot of commercial traffic. We saw a lot of barges coming by, and you can see we're starting to fall now. And we'll just hang on to these ropes as we come down.
And one thing, you can see us here, we're docked here by this wall, and this was a super easy docking. But let me tell you something, for all of you who hate backing up an RV,
Oh my gosh, it's about 1,000 times easier.
it's 1,000 times easier than pulling into a boat because of 2 reasons.
Pulling
A,
into a dock.
pulling into a dock with a boat, because for 2 reasons.
Right.
With a boat, you've got the wind and the current acting against you or for you or whatever,
And you have no brakes.
and you can't get out and just stop and look around.
Right.
You're always moving. And I tell you what, we thought back in the RV was kind of a little difficult at times. Ever having
Nothing.
the boat? Nope. It's as easy as pie.
Right,
compared.
you have to make split-second decisions when you're on a boat because you're moving and you have to decide right then and there what you're gonna do.
Exactly.
I'm aware of the bonds that were created today. When you told me that sure there's a way. The water's so still and my pain has gone away. The air is much cleaner after it rains. Follow my love, the scent that's in spring air. Follow the moon into the sun. There's a call for new beginnings here. Let the sorrow of yester disappear.
Make sure our mast doesn't hit or our anchor. We're getting some currents here. So I'm gonna latch onto this guy right here to make sure we don't move backwards. Current pushing us backwards there, so I did grab this wire here with our spring line. You can see that obviously the sill now becomes quite clear. We brought our heavy duty work gloves. These are my hitching gloves for the Airstream, specifically for the lock operation so that we wouldn't get our sail gloves all filthy muddy. Looks like we've fallen about as far as we're going to fall. Next step will be for the lock doors to open, and then Cindy will let go of her line and assume command of the vessel, and I will push us off and we'll motor on out. You can see the mud, and that should be the doors opening. Sometimes there's a current, so we'll make sure we get grass. We're not going to do anything until the doors are completely open. Usually they'll give us this locks. The lock master will give us some type of signal. You can't see the lights from here down below. See the flag of the New York Canal, New York State. Okay, so you want to drop your line and assume command? I'm going to push us off here. Now watch your rear. Looking clear, looking clear. Looking clear. Stay on target. And she's going to add just a little bit of juice, as you can hear, so that she can maintain steerage way out the lock. You can see our red nun there that we'll keep on the left and the green can. This section of the canal is very well marked. Have it. There's our lock. Got a green can on the right, and there it is, locking through the New York State Canal System. Good job, C.
So the last thing we had to do once we got through the canal system just south of Albany, actually this is taking place in Catskill, New York, is to put the mast back up.
And they have special areas and marinas that do that for you.
Right, and you can see these guys have like pulleys and a little bit less sophisticated than I think Point Point Marina was.
Right.
But nevertheless,
they got the job done.
Yeah. So if you like this video,
give us a big thumbs up.
And if you think we earned a subscription, click the subscribe.
And comment below if you like this content or if you want us to go back to the RV stuff. Who knows? Yeah, we'll be back to the RV stuff in a week or two, but nevertheless, because we come out with RV and Airstream related content and occasionally different stuff like this. Right.
Every Tuesday.
Thanks for watching.